what do you think of ChatGPT 4.0 demonstration, and that was released last week, and how innovative of an update is it for the company? And let's play a video. Actually, I think we have a video, so let's run that.
We asked the live audience on X to submit few requests for what they would like us to try out here. So I will take a couple of prompts. Okay, Bot Gaskar wants to know if GPT-4o is capable of real-time translation. Mark, you want to try this one?
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I speak Italian, so we can just do English-Italian.
Try to do English-Italian. Sure, let's do it. Hey, ChatGPT, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
I'm doing great. So I would like you to function as a translator. I have a friend here who only speaks Italian, and I only speak English. And every time you hear English, I want you to translate it to Italian. And if you hear Italian, I want you to translate it back to English. Is that good?
Perfetto.
Mark, io mi chiedo se le balene potessero parlare, cosa ci direbbero?
Mike, she wonders if whales could talk, what would they tell us?
They might ask, how do we solve linear equations?
Potrebbero chiederci come risolviamo le equazioni lineari.
Sicuramente sì.
Certainly, yes.
Great. Looks like it works.
I'm going to be very honest. When I saw it, I said, thank God Apple is partnering with them to help improve Siri, because if not, Siri would have been dead. Most product demos kind of overhype what they're going to deliver. As soon as you sent me the video, I went and tested it right away. It's almost better than what they talked about on the demo. I think this is definitely product of the year, hands down. Poor Duolingo. As soon as that translation came out, the stock dropped. If I was a CEO, I would be in shambles. I think this is the best product I've seen in maybe 5 or 6 years. They keep finding ways to be better. Apple, I know you did the partnership, but you need to find a way, because once they integrate into that Siri platform and make Siri better, people are going to say, let me just use GPT instead.
I think Siri's dead.
It's over with.
Yeah,
it's over with.
When I sent, I saw the clip first, and then I watched the 27-minute actual piece of the demonstration. I was blown away. And so I just had to send. I was trying to send it to everybody I could, because once I saw the generative AI assistant, I'm like, oh, it's here. Yeah, it's already here. And so when you're talking about having it take meetings and it being aware of what's being said in the meetings and taking notes about the meetings, but then on top of it,
awareness,
on top of it, it actually gave input. Right. So it's actually listening to the voices that are in the meeting, translating it, dissecting it, but actually taking the cognitive awareness to actually have input inside of the meeting. So this isn't just like, what was that, Otter, where it just records?
Yeah.
This is actually giving feedback, which I had never seen before. The language translation thing, I think, I mean, for especially people who travel a lot,
phenomenal.
To be able to adapt language in real time at the speed that it was doing in the demonstration, I think is absolutely insane. It's a game changer. I mean, last week we talked about the partnership with Apple. I think it was perfect. They knew this was coming.
Yeah, absolutely. They had to get in front of it.
They knew it was coming, but it also spoke, and we spoke about this last week, but it was that partnership. Like, hey, they have a product that we need, we can't be without. I know Microsoft is invested in it heavy.
Yeah.
We need to work together, because even if they put out a product, is it going to be as advanced? Is it going to be as ready to be used right now? I mean, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
OpenAI out-Appled Apple. Yeah, that was one of the best product demos I've seen probably since the first iPhone.
Yeah, and right after Google announced.
Absolutely.
Right, and so you can see, like, when we're talking about AI wars, it's interesting. Like, we have these conversations and we feel like people are cognizant of what AI is. And then you walk into rooms and people have no idea.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what does the next 5 years look like? I'm like, look, we need to really be studying this technology, because if we get left behind, I don't know how we catch up.
Yeah.
So to see, they're calling it, was it 4.0? They're just calling it ChatGPT 4.0. And to see what Google's announcing the day after, the war is here.
Yeah.
The war is here. The technology is here. It's going to, I mean, you can implement it right away. It's bigger than just, hey, asking a question. Right. Yeah. And I know Google was, and that was one of the things, Shadi, I know you use this all the time. Like, you use it as a search engine.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
more
like,
so than Google, if
we're talking about Google, right, they are known for a search engine. But now if I have all these things in one place, am I less likely now to go to Google search? I know they have the partnership with Apple too, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Think about if you were a startup and you had the backing of Apple and Microsoft, and you had a better product than both of those empires. They're going to take pole position. Give them like 5 or 6 years if they still in this run. It's going to be really tough. I think we can say like that FANG era is done. We need to have some serious conversations about, and if they find a way to spin off and become publicly traded,
different story.
It's game, set, match.
Different story.
So let's talk about Microsoft then, because Microsoft obviously, owns half of OpenAI.
Smart move.
Their stock hovering around like 425, which is a few dollars short of their 52-week high. So what's the forecast for Microsoft stock? How high can we see Microsoft stock potentially getting over the next couple of years?
I can see it going maybe to 560, 575 easily. Because they're the benefiter of the OpenAI partnership. And on top of that, they're doing incredibly well in the B2B services area. One thing that I love about the CEO is you don't see him in any scandals. You don't hear him talk unless it's outside of the business. And they have found their footing after they had their lost decade. One of my favorite stocks of all time. And that's why I keep saying the companies with the most money, if they cannot beat an up and coming startup, they're going to find a way to partner and or buy it outright.
That's it. That's why when we talk about the operating cash flow, when they have
It matters.
I think they were we did this on the call. It was over 100 billion
Easily.
I mean, when you're talking about that amount of cap, they're going to figure out a way to implement it. Like you said, if we can't create the technology, we're going to partner with technology, or we're going to buy the company outright and implement it. We're already at $3 trillion. In the next 5 years, are we talking $4 trillion company? They're already number one in market cap. Yeah.
I believe. And if you think about it from an analyst standpoint, you don't hear one analyst saying, I have them going down in the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
It's rare to get all the analysts at scale to say, no, I only see upside potential. Now, if they do a stock split, that would be even better. I don't know if they'll do that, but they are a media darling, a hedge fund darling, and they're innovating, I would argue, much better than Apple even is at this time. So continue to hold Microsoft for a long period of time. I think their CEO is doing a better job than Tim Cook is. Tim Cook, I love you, and everyone over at HQ. But I think they definitely will remain the number one company in the world.
So, when you think about the next 3 to 5, I think the two companies that lead, NVIDIA and Microsoft, at some point, will Microsoft decide we're going to create our own?
Will be smart.
Right? If this is going to be a direct competitor, and we've seen mega caps work together, we know the path for NVIDIA. We can see the trajectory. Everybody upgrades it. Every quarter, it feels like. And this Wednesday, we'll see. I think they're going to have another blowout quarter. At some point, does Microsoft say, okay, we've been relying on your semis. We're going to have enough capital to get a company that we can partner with or build our own?
I think because they're more collaborative, we always talk about collaboration over competition. I think it would be smart to pay NVIDIA to help make their own division, give them a royalty maybe for 5 or 10 year period, so they don't have to put all those resources in trying to build their own when they're not an expert at that. Like we saw Apple misstep with the crypto market, they misstep with the EV car, had to shut it down, and that kills time. Outside of the capital, you're like, there's other projects Apple could have put money into, and they didn't. So I think it would be smart for Microsoft to partner with NVIDIA or ASML, say, hey, make our own division. We'll give you a royalty for a certain period of time, and after that, we own it outright.
We got some ASML news a little bit later. We're going to get into that in a little bit.